Hi guys. Uh, I beat the midnight buzzer, but I'm not going to be on for long. Um, I have a really bad sinus headache, and I just took a shower just for the purpose of getting warm water on my face. Um, and also, I have something to do right after the stroke of midnight, which is register for fall classes on day one before all the good instructors get taken, you know? Or at least before I get stuck with an instructor that I've already had a little bit of a problem with because I have a 4.0 and I want to keep it. So any instructor that has been nitpicky at grades here and there, I just kind of never take a class from them ever again. I don't know if that's good or bad for my education, but I'm trying to protect that 4.0. So I get a little picky with registration. So I'm going to get in there as soon as it lets me in, which is, oh, technically right now. I don't know for sure that it won't be until like the wee hours of the morning, but technically it is the right day right now. So I'll make this video brief. Um, Around 8 p.m. in my neighborhood, people started hooting and hollering. Hi, Kip, you're the first one to comment. Um, So they were hooting and hollering. They were screaming. Some of them sound like they're being murdered by some like Michael Myers Halloween style murderer that like lets them scream a lot while stabbing them. But what it actually was even though I'm not really close enough to a hospital for people in the hospital to hear it, apparently all the first responders and hospital workers now get a cheer at 8 p.m. every night, along with fireworks if you got them. Um, so that's a thing now. Uh, my neighborhood had calmed down in the last few years with the fireworks thing, but now I guess we're back to nightly fireworks. Um, anyways, I had the thought come over me that there are a lot of people dying. This being today was like the biggest spike in New York deaths and all that. And what I wanted to say to people out there, if they actually do know someone who is a nurse or a doctor or a CNA or tech or anything that works at a hospital, even more than like grief counselors might need to be called upon because of all the people mourning their loved ones who died. People need to realize that there's a lot of um, trauma going on with those hospital workers seeing this horrible way to die and also feeling like they're incompetent because of how many people are dying and because they don't have the right equipment and they're ill prepared for this. And you know they might not have enough ventilators or masks or gowns or gloves or whatnot, and it just makes them feel impotent in the face of this thing that it's their job to treat when it gets that bad. They're in the trenches, just like Starcloud said. So, what I'd like to offer for that is to let people know that just because the outcomes are bad doesn't mean that you personally are bad at your job. Okay. Take it from me. I'm an addiction counselor, right? The majority of the people that go through any of the residential treatments I've worked at or the outpatient treatments I've done, the majority of the people are not going to be sober for the rest of their life. And many of them are going to relapse over and over again. There's this weird parallel that I can have with the hospitals now, where the longer a patient stays on a ventilator due to COVID-19, the more likely they are to die. Right, the chances of them pulling out lessen with each and every day. Same thing with an addiction counselor. If you were to look at the people who overdose, there is a very high correlation with the number of different treatments they had already gone to. It seems that the more therapy you get, the worse your case is, right? And it's actually not uh, uh, a causal effect where, the therapy is making you worse. It's the worse your case is, the more therapy you're going to get on the path to your eventual death. So, keeping that in mind, I don't feel as bad. But um, I try my best, and I know it. Um, and you have to take solace in that. Like, what things do you do each day to be a professional? You know, and thank you, Barry. Uh, okay, and pine cones. You don't have to super chat me to get me to respond. I'm one of those YouTubers that responds to anyone, but I appreciate it. Um, yeah, I think what's going to be needed in the coming days is for people to understand that it wasn't the fault of the doctors or the nurses, and the people who need to understand that the most will be the doctors and the nurses understanding it about themselves. And they're going to need some help with that. All right, guys, I am going to leave you with that tonight. It was a short video, a short stream. ZZZ Giant Awake, Josh, you need to talk to Paul in order to get into the version 3 uh, chat on the Breakfast Club channel. So get on that because I'd like to see you there and have some discussions with you. Talk to you later, guys. I'm going to go register for some classes.